everyone, welcome to Week 8 Maine. So this is the championship decider. Jonathan has a 4-point deficit to me. So if he wins and I finish 4th, he gets the championship. So all I have to do is finish higher than 4th, which is where I'm starting. My cart, once again, is not the greatest. I am in 28, which I had last week, which is still the exact same. Oversteers left, can't turn right, and you kind of have to force rotation by throwing your body to the left in right-handers to make it turn right. The brakes aren't great, but hey, we'll make it work. So yeah, just gotta lock in, see what happens. Instead of a 40-lap main this week, we're doing a 50-lap main, and we have 3 pits instead of 2 pits. So I go ahead and do the first one right here, which actually turned out to be a really good pit as I come out with clean track. right here, I go ahead and come in for my third and final pit stop, hoping to overcut Donnie. So we'll see where I come out right here. And after this pit, to my absolute shock, I come out P2, and Jonathan is way up the road. But if I just stay P2, then I win the championship. But then Jonathan decides to deliberately slow down and decide to do everything in his power to make me lose P2, despite him having a huge pace advantage. So this is where it gets interesting. So during week 4, you're about to see it right here, he intentionally goes wide right here to try and force me into a trap where I either follow him and then get passed on the inside by Alex, or don't follow him, try to pass him on the outside, then get stuck on his outside and get passed on the inside of the next corner by Alex. So you'll continue to see that for the next couple of laps. But I just will not fall for it. I already know what he's done, as he's done it before. So I just have to kind of do some dirty tactics of my own to keep Alex behind me. Because of his defense, I'm also constantly getting bumped by the carts behind out wide all over the place, making my job really, really hard. So yeah. League manager has also been giving Jonathan the speed up sign with his hands, because the moves that he was doing, the league director wasn't a fan of, as far as him intentionally slowing down and backing up to me, trying to get me past. But of course there's no sign, so he really didn't know what he was trying to say. See, at this corner especially, I'm having to take these super weird and awkward lines and react to everything that happens in the moment, as I just really have no idea what to expect as far as his next move. So in the moment, as you can imagine, I was pretty fed up with how he was, in the moment, I would say in quotes, racing me. So I was like, alright, I might genuinely bump him out of the way in an unnoticeable spot, or when he defends too aggressively. But I remembered that I just can't win a championship like that, so I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. Unfortunately, there would be a cut in the footage here, but this would be the moment of the race. So right here, Jonathan makes the same move he normally does, but instead, as you can see, he significantly brake checks me, which allows Alex to pass me and he's able to get me out wide so Donnie can follow through. And I must say, that was a really nice 3-wide dive by Ethan right there. Really clean as well. So commendment to him for sure. But as you can see, I am not happy. And the league director didn't see that at the time, and he is currently being informed by the flagman of what happened. He is saying that he broke checked me. So we'll see what the league director's reaction is here shortly. So right here, I expect it to be a red, so I had stopped, since I figured since they saw him get spun, they would make it red. This is kind of cheeky right here. He wouldn't have come out of the pits in front of me had there been no red and I hadn't stopped in that area. But he did, sort of, kind of, but who even knows at this point? There's already been enough. So now that I'm in P4, Jonathan has been successful at moving me to where he needs me to be. But now, this is where we will find out what the marshal's decision is.
What?
He deliberately slowed down.
Yeah, I know. Nick said he brake checked.
Yeah, that's what he did.
I gave him a warning. If he does that again, he's getting a penalty.
So as you heard there, he gave him a warning for that. And if he does it again, he'll get a penalty. But I mean, he doesn't really have to do it again the rest of the race, does he? So, I mean, it is what it is. But now I just have to find a way to get around Donnie for P4. Although he is P2, but I'm certain he will be able to get around Alex for the lead. And also, my cart's overheating. You see me having to jab the throttle to keep it alive. And I just want this red period to end so fast, so I don't have to do this anymore. But every single person on the entire grid has a question for the man, so... Jonathan got around Alex for the lead about a lap ago, and I've just had a really, really bad lap, and Donnie has gapped me, so I need to refocus and catch back up. probably see here that I am bumping Donnie a lot more than I've really ever bumped anybody. So I mean, when someone's defending me, I usually do have to lay off and avoid contact. But right now, instead of laying off, I'm just gonna go, and if I hit him, it is what it is. And I'm hoping that maybe me hitting him can maybe get to his head and him make a mistake. So none of these taps are intentional at all. They're just happening because of his defense. But yeah, it's questionable, but so is this entire race. So yeah, so I'm definitely not happy, but luckily I'm able to control myself and not do anything dangerous, which is good. I normally am able to control myself and not go that far. I really have never done anything that dangerous. flag comes out, and this will be the championship decider. I have one last lap to make a move. As you see, I go out slightly wide here to try and get a better exit, but it's just no use. So at this point, I pretty much just going to have to sit here and settle for this. And then Ethan decides, you know what, I'm just going to bump you right out of the way. So then I basically just say, yeah, I'm ramming you out the way. And then he goes for a gap that doesn't exist and almost spins me. But whatever. So maybe I would have had another chance, but probably not. So I come home P4. You can see the little bang of the wheel. I'm definitely pretty frustrated. So at this point, see, I'm going pretty fast here. I decide I'm going to go up and I'm going to give Jonathan just a little bit of a tap to let him know I am not happy with the way I was raced. So you see I did that there. I'm not sure if I agree with that move that I did there. In fact, I'm entirely sure I don't agree with that. I'm definitely never going to be showing my displeasure like that again. Although it was the tiniest of all taps, still shouldn't be doing that. And I need to, although this was a step up, as I wasn't throwing my hands all over the place all race. So I'm actually pretty happy with how I controlled my anger, all things considered. So yeah, as I said, I think this was a step in the right direction for the way I handle my anger out on track and the adrenaline and all that. So hopefully we can get better. I need to get better than even this from here on, for sure. So yeah, I hop out the cart knowing that I've lost the championship. But I was happy for Jonathan because this is going to be his last leagues here before he moves. So yeah, but the league director walks up to me and he asked me a few questions about the incident, and then he asked to see my footage, obviously, and he was genuinely starting to consider giving Jonathan a 1-point penalty, which would give me the championship. And he gave his side of the story too, and we're good friends, obviously, so we all discussed all of it together. And he came back and was considering looking at Jonathan's footage, but just before he was going to, I said, yeah, I just can't win that way. Just let the championship stand, let it be his. He wins. So yeah, we end up P2 after this long and very fun season, despite all the ups and downs. It was a very fun season. But yeah, I will not be doing the summer leagues here, as the money will instead be going to a few rental races at MCC, which I will hopefully be posting. And I will also still be going to Full Throttle for public races as well, which I might be able to post as well here and there. So yeah, I will also might be doing the Enduro in about 5 days, I believe, from when this is posted. So I'll keep you updated on that. You'll know if I did it, as I will post the video, hopefully this time, as long as it doesn't go as horrible as the last one went. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.